My ex tried to ruin my life, so I got the last laugh. Okay, so this is something that happened a couple of years ago, but it still feels so satisfying to tell. Let's call me Alex, was dating this guy, Ben, for almost 3 years. At first, things were great, super fun, tons of inside jokes, and we just vibed really well. But as time went on, Ben started getting weird. He'd get jealous for no reason, make passive-aggressive comments about my friends, and honestly, I started feeling like I couldn't do anything without him flipping out. Finally, I broke up with him. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was the right thing. I thought we'd stay civil. Maybe even be friends someday, who knows? But nope, Ben had other plans. Once we broke up, he went full petty mode. At first, it was just little things like texting me nonstop, trying to get back together and throwing guilt trips my way. I ignored it all because I didn't want to start drama. But then he started taking it way too far. He started spreading rumors about me to our mutual friends, making up lies that I cheated on him. I didn't. He even contacted my new coworkers and told them I was a toxic person trying to get me fired from my job. He went so far as to create fake social media profiles to stalk me, leaving random comments on my posts, trying to make it look like I was still obsessing over him. It was honestly starting to feel like he was trying to ruin my life. At first, I was just frustrated. But then, I remembered something important. I knew Ben's biggest secret. When we were together, Ben had a side hustle. He had a little online business that made him some decent money. It wasn't illegal, but let's just say it wasn't exactly above board either. There were some shady dealings involved, stuff that could easily get him into trouble if the wrong person found out. And I was that wrong person. Instead of reacting emotionally, which I almost did, I played it cool. I started quietly collecting evidence, screenshots of his shady messages, records of his business transactions, and even some screenshots from conversations he'd had with other people bragging about how he was getting away with it. I made sure to back everything up just in case. Then, when I had enough to really hurt him, I went to his parents. Yeah, I know that sounds extreme, but honestly, they didn't deserve to be kept in the dark about what their son was doing. I showed them everything, without a single exaggeration. I wasn't out for revenge at first. I just wanted him to stop with his nonsense, and maybe realize he couldn't get away with hurting me anymore. His parents were shocked and angry. They were one of the only people in his life who didn't know what he'd been up to. They immediately contacted the authorities about his side business, and within a week, Ben's whole operation came crashing down. Ben tried to play it off as me, trying to get him in trouble, but when the cops showed up at his door to ask him about some of his transactions, his world flipped upside down. I won't go into all the details, but let's just say Ben didn't escape unscathed. He lost his side hustle, and to top it off, his parents ended up distancing themselves from him because they were so upset about the lies and the mess he created. Meanwhile, I kept my distance, stayed focused on my career, and made sure my reputation stayed clean. But I did get a huge sense of satisfaction when I found out Ben was constantly trying to explain to everyone why he wasn't the problem, as if anyone was buying it at that point. And the best part? I've been thriving. I got promoted at work, I'm way happier now, and I've met some amazing people who actually appreciate me. Ben, on the other hand, he's been dealing with the consequences of his actions ever since.